Welcome to the Urban Eye of Crypto. I'm Thomas Bain. Thank you guys for tuning in to the videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't become a member, become a member. Support your boy. Support me. I'm trying to do this full time so I could give y'all this content. Support your boy. Get my subscribers up. Become a member. Because just now I'm probably going to be doing videos that only members could actually hear, right? Because there's going to be certain things that I want to talk about that I can't talk about because I keep getting flagged on YouTube. So those are going to be videos that only members are going to be able to hear, and I'm going to do it soon. It's taking me a little bit of time because, man, when you live in life and you got to work, man, that joint really sucks. I was just talking to my boy the other day, and I was telling him, man, I thought we were going to be financially free already, and we still working. And I'm working harder than I was working 5 years ago, which is crazy. I mean, I was working hard 5 years ago, but I feel like I'm working harder now because age is catching up. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you getting older and you getting up there in age, man, that work life is different. That joint hit different. It's crazy. But anyway, in today's video, I'm going to just be talking about Algorand. Now, I don't really know much about it like that. I'm going to be honest, okay? However, the little that I know, I'm just going to really talk to y'all and tell y'all what I think my price what I see the price being, right? What I see the price being for Algorand. I'm just going to tell y'all that, right? I'm just going to, just point out a couple of things here and there, but I'm just going to give y'all what I think the price is going to be. And this video is for one of my subscribers. They asked me to do the video, and I was like, yo, you know what? Let me get this video done. And I know many of you have asked me to do certain videos, and I'm trying to get the videos done. I apologize. Please forgive me. And again, thank you for coming and listening to the channel. I really appreciate everyone. And it's good for me to see that people actually listen to me talk about this stuff. Because no, I'm not the smartest person in the room. However, I'm able to hear things or read things and interpret it differently because I'm not someone that believes everything that I hear or see or read, right? No. I like to break things down. That's how I operate. But when it comes to Algorand, right? Algorand is a very, very, very good blockchain. Like a very good blockchain. It is said that it is a part of the ISO 20022, which I believe it is, right? Because there has been documentation showing that it is a part of the ISO 20022 compliant coins, but the Algorand blockchain was built by a very, very smart guy. Like it has smart people in this crypto industry building blockchains, but he's one of the guys that he's smart. He's really smart. I believe he worked for MIT. I believe he worked for. I believe he was like a professor there. The guy that created it. I don't know his name. Again, this is not one of those deep dive videos. This is just one of the videos that I'm just telling you some of the things that I know. So what I do know is that Algorand is a part of RWAs, right? So they have real world assets that's going to be tokenized onto the Algorand blockchain. I do know that, right? Algorand uses a pure proof of stake model, right? Their coin is ALGO, if you don't know. That's the ticker symbol. And the ticker symbol is basically the short version of it's a shorter version of the company's name of how you can find the coin on any one of the exchanges, right? That's a more like layman's terms way I just explained it. But they have a lot of stuff. I personally think and thought that the coin would have been worth way more than it is right now, but it is not. They also have, I believe they have stable coins on their platform. I believe that they do have, I think they have USDC on their platform, right? I know that they are partnered with this blockchain real estate company. I guess I could say it like that, but it's a real estate company called Lofty that they tokenize real estate they tokenize real estate, and it's on the Algorand blockchain. I do know that. So they have that. They also are involved in a couple of other things that I'm seeing on their website, like it says Folks Finance. I don't know what that is, but they have things to do with finance as well. They also have something to do with lab traceability. So they're going to basically help medical companies trace, I guess, diseases and whatever other else things that they trace, right? They're also a part of agriculture as well, I believe, like tracing supply chain stuff, for foods and stuff like that. So they're going to be involved in that as well. What else? Let me see here. I'm just looking at the website right now. No, I'm not going to give you guys a screenshot because, again, this is not one of those type of videos. I should do one. It also says here that they can move or settle 10,000 transactions per second. So that's the 10,000 TPS, right? Point of sale speed that users expect, right? So they say that they can also do that. Now, you're able to write in the programmable language of Python and TypeScript, but that's for you programmers out there. I'm not a programmer. I don't know nothing about that, right? So it's supposed to be like an easy blockchain for you to be able to come on and build stuff and, I guess, build on it, I guess. I don't know how you would say that, right? Because I don't really go that technical into the blockchain. That's for other people like my boy Quincy Jones, right? If you never watched any of his videos, just type in Quincy Jones crypto and listen to what this guy got to say. He's very knowledgeable, right? But when it comes to the TPS, the transactions per second, that's one of those numbers that a lot of blockchains say that they can move because of the amount of money that they're going to be involved in moving, right? So you have to also understand that when it comes to that transactions per second, the price of the coin has to be high enough to be able to move 10,000 transactions per second. Because think about it, they're not going to want to use 10,000 coins per second to move the money or whatever value they're going to be moving, right? They're not going to want to do that. It wouldn't make any sense, right? There's 60 seconds in an hour. If you do 10,000, right, times 60, you should arrive at 600,000. They're not going to want to use 600,000 of any coin an hour. First of all, you're going to cause a lot of payments to not go through or data to move. They don't want that. So it's not going to make any sense. So when they talk about the transactions per second, you have to understand that that's really based on the coin being a very high price, and $1,000 is not going to cut it, right? Depending on what that blockchain is involved in, $1,000 is not going to cut it. $10,000 may not even cut it either. So now that brings us to the question, what the price will be. Well, I mean, just based on the fact that these people are involved in supply chain movement, they're also involved in real estate, right? They're also involved in finance. They're also involved in the medical field, right? Those are all multi-billion-dollar industries, right? So me personally, if I'm a betting man, right, I will bet that Algorand has to be, I would say, honestly, on the low end, about $100,000 per Algorand. $100,000 per Algorand. Because you got to look at the value that they're going to be bringing over, right? We can't look at the market cap. The market cap means nothing. The only thing that matters is the amount of coins that they have in their supply, how much coins do they have in their supply again? Hold on, guys. Let me just take a look at this right quick. Yeah, so I didn't even realize that they only have 10 billion coins total. The max supply is 10 billion, no more to be made. And on top of that, there's only 8 billion, over 8 billion coins in circulation. I mean, Jesus, wow. I didn't even realize that. Oh my God. I should have been paying more attention to this coin, man. I really should have been paying more attention to this coin. Oh my goodness. Wow. I did not even realize this. I am very, very, very shocked and surprised. So, I mean, listen, like I just said, based on the things that they're going to be involved in, and it only being so little bit of supply, yeah, $100,000 seems like a very, very reasonable number that it needs to be, or that it could start at, right? When it really gets going. That seems like a very reasonable number. 10 billion coins max supply and 8.78 billion coins in circulation. I mean, yeah, man. Like I tell you guys, when it comes to the supply and it comes to the price, you gotta remember that whatever company builds on the blockchain, they have to hold the coin. So those coins are taken out of circulation, right? And then on top of that, when you use the coin for any type of transactions, a portion of that gets burned as well. So even just sending ALGO from one wallet to another, you're going to burn coins, and those coins are going to come out of circulation, right? Now, you're not burning a whole coin, but you're going to be burning a portion of it. And those coins are going to have to get taken out. That little percentage of the coin is going to have to get taken out, right? So you have to take all those things into consideration. And then just looking at the things, supply chain traceability, right? They're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing decentralized IDs. Oh, right. They're going to be doing IDs. Decentralized finance. They're going to be doing that as well, right? Real world asset tokenization. They also involved in that. Payment solutions, data integrity. These are the things that they're involved in, right? So with them being involved in all these different things, I mean, listen, you're looking at a coin that, I'm telling you, me personally, if I'm a betting man, I would say $100,000. That's the low end. The high end, man, the high end, again, it all depends on the companies that they partner with and stuff like that. I mean, the high end, you could probably see I wouldn't even say probably, you could see a $1 million Algorand price, because you got to look at the assets that they're going to be involved in. I mean, the industries, right? You have to look at the industries, and then you have to understand that $1 billion circulating through the Algorand blockchain every day, 365 days a year, right? That will be $365 billion. You only have 10 billion coins. In order for Algorand to move that amount of value per day, per year, yeah, you're gonna need a coin to be about $1 million on the high end, right? And I'm gonna be honest again, that could be the high-low end, because it could need to be more than that, because that's the one thing that a lot of people don't take in consideration. 10,000 transactions per second doesn't mean that we're gonna use 10,000 Algorand per second, right? They don't even want to use 1,000 Algorand per second. They want to use 1 Algorand to be able to settle payments for 1 hour. That is an efficient system. That's efficient. 1 Algorand moving money per hour, moving value per hour, moving data per hour. 1 Algorand. What do you think the price needs to be? I mean, that's how you got to think about this. That's how you have to think about this. These other YouTubers, they not even thinking about it like that because they are not seeing what it is. They're not going into their imagination to really understand. You have to be someone that can step out of what we will call reality and realize what it really is and what it really needs to be, right? 10,000 transactions per second they could move. Algorand, 10 billion coins max supply, 8 billion coins in circulation. They're involved in industries that are multi-billion-dollar industries. They're probably going to be moving billions of dollars per day. How much do you think the coin needs to be? I'm telling y'all, you got to look at all of those different things, right? Because they're not going to, like I said, they do not want to use 10,000 Algorand per second. That is stupid. It is dumb. They don't want to do that. They want to be able to use 1 Algorand per hour to be able to handle 10,000 transactions per second. That's 600,000 transactions in 1 hour. And I could be off, right? Because it's 60 seconds in a minute, right? And 60 minutes in an hour. So you're probably looking at 6 million transactions per second, right? Maybe 6 million or more. But so if they have to move 6 million transactions per second, right? Because it's 600, it will be 600, sorry, you know, sometimes when I get talking, my mind be running faster than I'm able to speak. But 600,000 transactions per minute, right? And then you take that 600,000 and you times that by 60 for 60 minutes, right? So what is that math? Let's see right now. I'm going to do it and I'm just going to tell you and then you can take out your calculator, right? So like I said, 10,000 transactions per second is 60 seconds in 1 minute. So 10,000 times 60 gives you 600,000. So that's 600,000 transactions per minute. And then when you take the 600,000 and you times that by 60 for 60 minutes in 1 hour, right? 600,000 times 60, that's 36 million transactions in 1 hour. Think about it. How much could the coin be? How much could the coin be? Because now when you take that 36 million transactions per hour and you times that by 24 hours, what is the number that you get? I'm not going to do the math and tell you. You do the math and you tell me. Leave it in the comments below. I want to hear, right? Especially if you got this far in the video. I want to hear. What would that be? These are the things that people are not thinking about. These are the things that people are not breaking down. But yeah, man, I think the low end for Algorand is about $100,000 per coin. The low end is about $1 million per coin. That's what I'm thinking, right? Now, I'm not even going to say I guarantee because I'm not guaranteeing nothing. But just from looking at it and making it make sense, those are the numbers that make sense to me. So I don't need to guarantee anything. All we got to do is just look at the facts. That's all we got to do. Look at the facts. Look at the facts and then also use the knowledge that you have, right? The knowledge that you have about the blockchain and cryptos and how they work. You got to make it make sense. This has nothing to do with market cap. Nothing to do with market cap. All right? But I'm out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Thomas Bain. This is the Urban Ave Crypto. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm out of here.